On this week's edition of Titan TV, we probe our readiness to handle certain safety issues.
We dissect the truth about budget cuts and how one little creature manages to creep out our students even though it's almost harmless.
These stories and more coming up next.
Signing off for Titan TV. Recorded on camera 6.
Hello.
JD made this.
Good morning, Centennial. Today is Friday, October 5th, and you're watching Titan TV. I'm Alan McClure.
And I'm Kathleen Lee. Safety is always a top concern for schools, especially with the recent evacuations of college campuses and other threatening events. Ashlyn investigates our own readiness.
With all the school shootings that have gone on recently, it isn't hard to wonder if something like that could happen here. We took a look into how safe Centennial is. Many school shootings, such as the Columbine shooting in 1998, the Red Lake Massacre in 2005, and the Chardon High School shooting this past February, have caused many schools to take action. Campuses across the country have added metal detectors, security guards, ID badges, security cameras, and even see-through backpacks. We asked Officer Springer what safety measures Centennial has taken.
Yeah, Centennial and Frisco ISD, they've implemented a lot of safety features. One is the teachers' doors must be locked at all times. We have the security doors in the front of the building, which directs people into the main office to sign in. All the exterior doors are locked, so nobody is supposed to be able to get in from anywhere around the building. You know, we got security cameras all throughout the building. With the police being on campus, the administrators being trained in what to look for, and the teachers being trained in what to look for, it helps reach that goal of everybody being safe at the end of the day.
We asked a Centennial student if they think Centennial is a safe environment.
I do believe that Centennial is a safe environment. There's always that chance that someone could bring a gun to school. However, I think with the policies that we have in place, and the APs and the teachers all know the code of conduct if someone were to bring in a firearm, so the kids have the sense of security that Centennial has provided for them.
But the real question is, will locked doors and security cameras actually do a complete job of keeping a shooter out? We asked Mrs. Mayfies what the best way to prevent a school shooting is.
I think that there are things that schools try to do to prevent it. They may do searches of students, they may have metal detectors, but I don't think those solutions address the underlying problem. I think that when you do things to positively impact a school's climate and culture, when you do things to build relationships between students and staff members, that is what truly will address potential violence or weapon issues on campus. You have to form those relationships.
In 81% of school shootings, there have been people who have had knowledge about the incident before it happened. If you hear someone talking about something like this happening, don't keep quiet. Communicate with the staff and report it. The best way to prevent a school shooting is to stop it before it happens. So choose to keep Centennial safe. This is Ashlyn, Titan TV.
One of the policies students may not like is one that is in place for concerns on safety.
You can't have that bag in here. You're gonna have to take it to your locker. And hurry up so you're not late.
What?
He had a purse, and she had like a bag big enough to fit like an entire like clothing set in there. Why is this inappropriate?
Does this scene seem familiar? Most students are aware of the bag policy here at Centennial, but when it comes to what's allowed and what's not allowed, the line isn't always so clear. I spoke with some students about how they feel about the bag policy.
It's a little unfair. I can't have my convenient bag, and even there's classrooms where they take their purses and they'll go set them over in the corner. Why can't I do that with my bag?
I think that we should be allowed to carry what we need to. I mean, I do act deck, and like during the season I live out of my car and my purse. Like I don't have time to stop home or use my locker. Like I have other stuff to do.
Girls, we have our purses to put our iPads or iPods in and stuff like that. Guys don't have anything, they have a pocket. If you have an iPad, it's not going to fit in your pocket.
I spoke with Assistant Principal Mr. Alexander to better understand what the bag policy is. He relayed to me that according to the FISD Code of Conduct, all bags are supposed to be left in your locker and are only acceptable before or after school. However, at Centennial, girls are allowed to carry a small bag to class. That is the only exception. He told me that he understands that not all teachers enforce the rules to the same degree, but that the best thing is for bulkier bags not to be allowed in class. The policy does undoubtedly make for a safer campus with fewer distractions in class, but it does leave some questions regarding the new Bring Your Own Device initiative. Should students be expected to leave their expensive devices in their locker? And does a bag that only holds a binder really pose a threat to anybody? This is Braylon Beckton, Titan TV.
Is it just me, or does Centennial seem more crowded this year?
Our reporters Tyler and Yulim are chirping with information.
I didn't want to go out the way.
My gosh.
Okay, maybe the cricket problem isn't that big, but it sure does seem like it. Crickets are everywhere, on the floors of the halls, in the lights, and even in the classrooms. And the students? They're not liking it very much.
They're really gross and they're everywhere, and I just really don't like crickets.
If the crickets were any larger here, I'm pretty sure they would just like swarm and take over the entire school.
Especially at Memorial, the band is always dive bombed by crickets because they like fly up above and they're just like, it's annoying.
I'm just happy to be here.
Crickets thrive in hot climates, and when it comes time to lay eggs, they do it in cool, wet places. This is why you see them inside and outside. The female will lay up to 400 eggs, and they come in groups of 50. Plus, they only take 15 to 25 days to hatch, and once they hatch, they tend to live for only a week.
However, if we don't do anything about them, they can do significant damage to furniture, rugs, and even rubber materials.
If you have orthoterophobia, the fear of crickets, it's best to know that a cricket bite cannot pierce skin, and they don't carry any known diseases, so they aren't harmful at all.
In fact, some people eat crickets as a part of their diet. If you like Asian food, cricket pad thai goes great with Vietnamese spring rolls. For a snack, cricket fritters are the way to go. And to finish off, chocolate-covered crickets are filling delicacies.
Thank you, Yulim. How appetizing? This is Tyler.
And Yulim,
Titan TV.
I don't think I'll be taking their recipe advice.
Maybe we should start dissecting the crickets. They don't cost anything.
Hello Titans, I'm Mitchell Rule, and this year there's been some rumors that there will be no biology dissections this year. I interviewed Mrs. Barton to see whether there's any truth to these stories.
What we decided to do for dissections is that if we have leftover specimens in the boxes from last year, we're going to divvy those up, and there might be some dissections in some classes, but it's not part of our curriculum. And we had slight budget cuts last year, and that is the first thing to go when there's budget cuts. If there are classes that do some dissections, we'll bring in the specimens, or we could do demos each and conserve the specimens for each teacher. The curriculum stands, and then that's, we cut out the fluff. And unfortunately, dissection was fluff. So it's not mandatory that the state dissects.
With any luck, there will still be some dissections this year. This has been Mitchell Rule, Titan TV.
We all know that coming to high school for the first time can be super stressful and overwhelming, but don't worry, we have many tips that will help you survive freshman year.
Once our freshmen walked into Centennial, they didn't realize how different high school would be. We took a survey and found the 4 main struggles that this year's freshmen are facing. Some of these struggles are that since this school is bigger, they get lost. The classes are much more difficult than any other years, there isn't enough time for extracurricular activities because of the work, and they have a lot more schoolwork than ever before. We interviewed a sophomore, junior, and senior for their advice to the freshmen.
Actually do your homework.
Get rest, because if you don't sleep, you're not going to perform well.
Don't fail.
We talked to freshman biology teacher Mr. Leal and asked his opinions on how freshmen can be more successful.
being prepared, having their things for class, but also being prepared and coming with good questions and being able to answer the teacher when they ask, knowing when they need help. That's really, really important to being successful as a transitioning freshman coming into Centennial.
So try your best to follow this advice and have a great first year of high school. I'm Allie, Titan TV.
The debate team finished out a very successful September at the Plano West Senior High Tournament on September 28th and 29th, having 3 of the 6 humorous interp finalists, 2 of the 6 oratory finalists, and 4 of the 6 impromptu speaking finalists. They also won several other awards, including 3rd place sweepstakes. Congratulations to our Titan debate team. Keep up the good work.
Hey Titans, just a quick reminder that homecoming court elections will take place next week. Final voting will be on October the 16th. And to vote, you must go to www.titanvoting.com. To log in, use your student ID and your 6-digit birth date. Have a great weekend, Titans.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Seth and welcome to your sports update for the week. Every week we will be featuring a new sport, and this week it is cross country. Let's go to Alex for more on our recent cross country success.
The cross country team has had a great start to the season. We caught up with Topper, who is a senior varsity runner.
The team's been doing pretty good this year. A lot of the top guys have been up there in the meets. We got second in one of the meets this year, and we keep pulling out good places, and everyone's getting faster and running really good times, and we keep bringing home the hardware.
We expect our Titans to have a good cross-country season.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of Titan TV.
Thanks for watching.